There are money misconceptions that sound good and get a lot of attention, but if you believe even just one of them, it might be what's stopping you from reaching financial freedom. First up, most millionaires have 7 streams of income. A lot of people think this means that rich people have 7 completely different businesses in different industries run by different people. That way, if one collapses, they're still safe with the others. And this leads people to count their income streams like, okay, I've got my day job, I've got the car detailing I do every few months for some friends, every now and then I stock trade on my phone, I've got a vending machine that I put in the local gym, and if somebody needs it, I can make social media graphics. And all of these small income streams might sound diversified and you might have a plan to grow them, but really it's just scattered. And that's part of what might be holding you back. The reality is most millionaires don't build income streams horizontally, they build them vertically so that they're stacking multiple income streams from the same core activity or asset. It's one of the reasons that I started with real estate because there's cash flow from using them as rental properties, but they also appreciate over time, which builds equity that I can pull out of the property as cash. And now that I've got half of my portfolio on Airbnb, that's additional income. We provide things like extra cleanings during long stays. And even recently, someone paid to access a piece of land that I owned so that they could photograph a lunar eclipse throughout the night. That's multiple income streams, all from the same asset class or activity. Building vertically like this allows you to focus your efforts and get good at one thing rather than spreading yourself thin and trying to become an expert in a lot of different areas. Because once you go deep on something, you start seeing the revenue opportunities that aren't visible for those just on the surface. And yet, this might sound like it goes against the next common money misconception, which is don't put all your eggs in one basket. So let's talk about it. And also real quick, if you already know that you're serious about building financial freedom, probably while you're watching this video, and you want help putting all of these steps in the right order, I created a free guide. It's called the Financial Freedom Blueprint. You'll get it when you sign up for my free live call on April 19th. And if you're watching after that, I'll send you the call recording and the blueprint. So just check the link in the top comment or just comment, I need the blueprint, and I'll send it right to you. So if we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket, what should we do? Well, when I was at Stanford, I was in a class called Online Entrepreneurship. The whole quarter was focused on teaching us the steps to build an online business. And some guys who were in the class a few years before me, their class project ended up becoming Snapchat, which debuted on the stock market at like $24 billion valuation. And they put all of their eggs in one basket and it absolutely worked out. But for most people, that strategy can be incredibly risky. You can swing and miss for years and years before you hit a home run like that, which for most of us may never happen at all. And so my financial freedom journey has used a different approach, which I call the Financial Freedom Campfire. You've got this spark that is where you start making money, your cash flow. The logs in the fire are the long-term assets that are going to grow your net worth over time. And then the gasoline is what you pour on top to accelerate everything really, really quickly. And this model lets you build vertically within your skill set without having to gamble everything on the next big social media platform or some other big swing. And here's an example of how all of that comes together. Most people probably know me for my real estate investing, which produces income in the different ways that we talked about earlier. But at its core, those are the logs in my Financial Freedom Campfire. I invest in rental properties to burn long and slow, growing in value over time and becoming assets that hopefully will contribute hundreds of thousands of dollars to my net worth over the next 5 to 15 years. But no fire can start without a spark. And that is simply the cash flow that most people need in order to jumpstart your financial freedom journey. It's what gives you a little bit of breathing room to either leave your job or cut your hours. For me, it meant starting with wholesaling real estate. After I left the Harlem Globetrotters, I decided not to try to get another job and instead try to do 8 wholesale deals in a year and average about $10K each. The spark of doing those deals gave me the breathing room and helped me build the momentum. And there's a lot of different things that could be your spark depending on your skills. It could be social media management, setting up automations for an online business. You could start a landscaping business now that the weather's warming up. Today, the biggest spark that contributes to my cash flow is my content agency, where we help brands to get more views on their content and also generate more revenue through it. And then finally, there's the gasoline that will set your fire on fire. This is about how you scale, how you're going to reach more people more quickly, but with less effort. Think of a breakout actor in a Netflix show. Suddenly they're everywhere. That breakout moment, that's the gasoline on their fire. In business, gasoline could be running ads that reach thousands or millions of potential leads, launching content that builds trust with a ton of people, or something like this YouTube channel. Content for me became the gasoline on my fire. It led to income streams like monetizing my channel, but also my programs that help other people on their financial freedom journey, affiliate revenue, and things like speaking opportunities. But here's the key. All three parts of the fire work together. They're not just random side hustles. They're aligned and they can compound on each other because they're all pushing you in the same direction. I started with wholesaling as my spark, kept a few of those properties as logs, started sharing the journey through content, and that was the gasoline. Then I started helping other people make content as another spark, and as I grow the team that helps run the agency, it becomes a log because I can step back from it and get more time and location freedom, freeing me up to pour gasoline on everything all over again. The spark gets the money rolling in. The log buys back your time, and the gasoline is your opportunity to make it big. And when we think about what making it big means, there's a lot of hype online about $10,000 a month being what you should aim for if you're going to set out on your own as a business owner. But $10,000 a month as an entrepreneur is a lot different than $10,000 a month from a salary. That number is a great milestone, but they call it top line revenue for a reason. First and foremost, your taxes aren't going to be taken out of that $10K like they would if you were getting a paycheck. So let's just subtract 15% at least right away to be set aside for Uncle Sam. Then remember that once you're running your own business, you're now the CEO, you're in charge of marketing, operations, service delivery, customer service, accounting, and probably a ton of other small things that you won't think of until you get in the weeds of it all. And you're going to want to change that quickly. The point of this whole process is financial, time, and location freedom. And if you do everything yourself forever, you'll keep more of that 10K revenue, but you'll have no time and location freedom. And eventually you'll hit a ceiling where you can't actually serve more people. And so you can't actually make more money. So at some point, it's crucial that you start building a team, and we'll put 30% of our revenue aside for that, plus all of the different software or equipment that we're going to need in order to keep the business running. But I'm not saying that you're going to hire a couple of VAs and then be completely out of the operations of your business, sitting on a beach drinking martinis somewhere. I don't know if people drink martinis on a beach, but you get the point. Even with a team, you're still going to be working in your business. So we're going to set aside 50% of your revenue to pay yourself as a salary and then take 5% as profit for you owning the business. Now, why is it so important for both your business's success and to the IRS that you split the money you receive into salary and also into profit? I break down this whole system and the business banking account I use to do this automatically in this video right here. So if you're making even $5 from your business, you need to watch that. And if you're not making anything and want more information on exactly how to build that financial freedom campfire, this video will walk you through it step by step.